the people that you could say are competing with your gig, the other sellers on Fiverr, can provide a lot of help for you in terms of what to do on your gig to get sales. At the same time, if you get bogged down with your competitors too much, you're likely to do worse. You're likely to copy the bad things your competitors are doing, and you're likely to obsess over where you're showing up in the search results. If you're doing things like looking in an incognito window, trying to figure out where your gig stacks up against other gigs, you can spend a lot of time obsessing over things you can't control. So what is helpful that you can learn from your competition? You can often learn by looking through the recommended and the high rating links based on your search result. You can learn what it is based on the reviews, especially. You see like up here the reviews. You can figure out what it is people want to buy. Are they buying gigs like you can see? This is an SEO gig that people have bought a lot. This is a resume one, SEO blog comments. Here's a Twitter one similar to mine. I can see what is it people are buying related to what I do, and that's very helpful to know. What is it I'm likely to get someone to buy? Probably something similar to what someone else is doing, and yet there are problems with trying to just copy what other people are doing, because sometimes people that you see that are doing well are also doing things wrong. And if you just try and copy them exactly, you'll copy the right and the wrong. And ultimately what you need is a gig that maximizes the good you can do for someone else. And the good you can do is likely very specific. So for example, I learned looking at my competitors that people were often specifying what the audience was like in the gig title. So if I do something like tweet your link to entrepreneurs, which can be difficult for me to spell sometimes, I can now see my gig showing up right here in the recommended gigs. And then I can guess how people are finding my gig. So you'll notice that compared to some of the gigs with higher ratings, it might not stand out that much. Now, if someone has wanted a link specifically out to entrepreneurs, then they will see that my gig, when they click on it, is what they want. You'll notice I will tweet your gig to the 90,000 Twitter followers. You can see I've built my gig title based off of what I saw other people doing. Now, at the same time, though, I can easily get obsessed with something like this and start saying, well, why am I not the top rated gig? I don't know why I'm not the top rated gig. I don't control what Fiverr does to make me the top rated gig. If I click over at high rating, you'll notice it actually goes lower than it was in the recommended. I don't know why I'm rating right there. You can waste a ton of time and energy doing a fairly meaningless task like searching for your own gig keywords and trying to figure out where you're ranking. You can't control that. What you can control is what your gig says. When you go click on your gig, you can control what your gig says. So you can optimize your gig. You can do a good job for each buyer you have. And the more you do good, your gig will get to rank higher. This has been something I've dealt with a lot with my Udemy courses, sat there obsessing over where I'm ranking. Now, I don't worry about where I'm ranking. What I do is do the most good I can for you right here in the course, because if I know I help you, then you will help me through what you do in the course, whether it's just watching videos or whether it's leaving a review or it's sharing comments or it's telling a friend about the course. Whatever it is, I know if I do my best and focus on doing my best for you, that I will then get what I need in return. So same thing on Fiverr. Your competitors can help you. You can look at their gigs, you can see what they're doing right, and yet if you obsess over your competition, obsess over where you're placing, you waste a lot of time without getting anything out of it. I know because I've done it a lot. Not as much on Fiverr. I've done it a lot on Udemy, and I had to stop doing it to save time. So I'm hoping this tip's helpful for you too.